Okay, so I'm going to show you how I just set up an SVG to use on the laser. I'm using Silhouette Studio Business Edition. I have set up my sheet to be right here a 24-inch long, 12-inch wide. I'm going to be doing 1.5-inch um, magnets for a wedding. I'm going to zoom in so I can work on, whoops, zoom in so I can work on that particular design, and then I'm going to duplicate it. All right, so I'm going to use a single line font to do the design because I'm going to score it. I'm not going to engrave it or cut, I'm just going to score. Mhm. I think I'm actually going to make this cursive. Um, if you're going to be putting names on like Christmas ornaments or small items, you're going to want to use a single line font. You can get those everywhere. I may have gotten some on DeFont, but I have gotten several on font bundles, and they do lots of sales every once in a while where you can get dollar fonts, or you can just go to the website and search for single line fonts. Even if you have to buy some, they're not super expensive. So um, after I set up the design or the name, I'm going to see if there's anything I can add to it just to make it look a little cuter. Um, Maybe just a heart. And the difference between a single line and not a single line. Okay, that's still a single line. I'm just going to change it. Okay, so single line is where it's literally a single line. All the other fonts are going to have an outline look to them. No matter what you select, they're still going to have the middle part and the edges. So that means that the laser is going to cut everywhere you see a line. It's just more simple to do a single line if you're going to do smaller projects like magnets or um, Christmas ornaments. And one thing you have to remember to do is if you're doing something that's not a single line, you're wanting to engrave maybe instead of score or cut like the giant signs. Let's say, um, what is Medina is a popular one for the name signs. Um, Everywhere that there's a line, it's going to cut. So you've got to weld these letters together where it doesn't cut out the letters. So you right click and weld, and it's going to make it where it's one smooth cut. This is the Medina Clean is the one I use for almost all of my um, name cutouts. So you want to Control G for group, and then you can resize that for whatever size you want. Once you've welded it, you can't make changes to it. You can double click all you want and you can't make changes. It has to be unwelded for you to be able to change the spelling or the size of the letters or whatever. Like you can ungroup here and make the J bigger if you want to. Or the N bigger. You do any kind of changes you want, then you go back and highlight everything. You can weld it. Make it one smooth piece. All right, so I believe the heart is also a single line. I'm just going to duplicate that. Like that, and then make another one. It's smaller. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for the magnets. Um, so now I'm going to save it as an SVG. Save as, name it person Avenue magnet. Change the file type to an SVG and save. Then you have to go to the laser software, which is this icon at the bottom. I'm going to open from my desktop the Jerson and Abbey magnet. You want to zoom in and see if there's any problems like this right here is a mistake. So there's a workaround for this. I don't know why it does it with Silhouette. It may not do it with another program, but with Silhouette, I typically have these errors. So what I have to do is open VCarve, which you can get for free, create a new file, make sure I always just set it to 48 by 36 because that's the size of sheet that it'll hold, the biggest size. Then I'm going to use this little folder right here to open that same file on my desktop. Jerson and Abbey. Open it. Everything looks good. Then I'm going to export as a DXF. And we'll name it Jerson and Abbey. And it's an extra step you have to do, but it's the only thing I found that works for my particular programs that I use. I'm going to save it in the desktop. I'm going back to the LaserSoft software. I'm going to open the DXF that says Jerson and Abbey right here. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, it also doesn't size this right. So while it's selected, I'm going to go back to the other one that is the SVG. Select it to see what size it is up here. 38.1. I'm going to go back in here, change this one to 31. 38.1, and this one to 38.1. And then it is the correct size. One thing I forgot to do is duplicate this. So let's back up a minute. Go back into my Silhouette Studio. I'm going to select everything and group it. And then if you hold the Alt key down and you just click on it, hold it down and drag it over, it'll let you duplicate over and over again. I don't know what it's doing. It's delayed. I don't know what it's doing. Go back to it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the same steps again. Save it as Thurston and Abbey magnet. SVG. It's gonna ask you if you want to replace it. Yes. And open up the V car. Delete this one. Open up Thurston and Abbey magnet SVG. Okay. Go to export as a DXF. To the desktop. I do want to replace it. Okay. Move the X out of here. I'm going to open Thurston Abbey DXF. This is another step you have to take. Okay. So we're going to go into Google and we're going to do a inches to millimeter conversion. All right, now we're going to look back at this where it says 22.850. We're going to lock this 22.850. 22.850. This is the number we're going to put in that spot, 580.39. 580.39. Okay, that gives us the size that we need. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to select just the circles. We're going to color those red, just the outside circle. This is the fun part about setting up your files. Takes a little bit to get them set up. But you have to give each line an assignment. So it has to be one assignment per color. So the red is going to do one thing, and then we're going to color the inside of the circles a different color so that they have a different assignment. It'll all make sense in a minute. You don't want anything inside the circle to be red because this red line is going to be set up to cut. I'm trying to do multiple selections. Save some time. Go in here just to the bottom, maybe. Goes down. Okay, now we're going to take away the red by clicking this green arrow, and then we're going to highlight everything that's left, and we're going to change it to green, because green is going to be our scoring line. All right, so now we have everything red and green. I'm going to be using 1/8 inch birch plywood, so it doesn't take much at all to cut through. So I'm going to be setting the birch at 15. Click on it. It's going to be, you're going to highlight, let's highlight the green first. Green is going to be the scoring. It's going to like cut the design on the top of the magnet, but not go all the way through. So we want to set it at the fastest speed, which is 499. And then we're going to set the power at 7. That's the lowest cutting power. Then the red is going to cut all the way through. So we want to set the speed at 15 and the work power at 85 and save. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is it'll connect to the laser. Um, actually, let's do this. Let's save this as we're going to save it. Oh, I'm going to put in a flash drive, which I don't have in here right now. So you're going to save it to the flash drive, Abby and Jerson magnet, save. Then you're going to take the flash drive and you're going to put it in the computer that's attached to the laser. You're going to go through the same steps of opening. Open it from the flash drive, open the Abby and Jerson. It'll be saved as a, what's it called? P, PWR maybe? Save as, let's see what it says. PWJ. It's going to save as a PWJ file on your flash drive from this computer. Then when you open it up on the other computer, you're going to open up the one that says Abby and Jerson magnet project file, and you're going to open it. And then you're going to click this download button, and it's going to give you the option to download right here, and you're going to click download, and then it's going to show up on the laser screen. So there's a lot of steps in it. Once you get it set up and get going, it's really quick. It's just getting everything set up in the process to get started. So this file is ready. Again, I'm going to save it to a flash drive. Then I'm going to open it on the laser laptop and download it to the laser. And I'll show you how to do that.